What's up, guys? I have finished doing my week of overnights, so I am trying to get as many videos done now so that when I have work next week I can just upload. I don't actually have anything planned as such for today, so I'm just gonna sort of catch up with you guys a little bit before the new year. I do have some videos planned. I think I need like another 4 or 5. And now my tablet is dead. Cool. I can't even check what videos I have planned because my tablet's dead. Right, well, that needs to go onto charge then. Yeah, I'm currently, as far as film and all the rest goes, I'm currently writing a Greek mythology TV series story thing, where I'm, for the most part, staying as historically accurate as I can to source material, but Greek mythology is one of those things where you'll have one character that's named Hercules, for instance, and everyone knows who that is, but then there's 4 characters named Eurydice, even though one of those is, the mistress of Orpheus, and he has to try and save her from the underworld. And she's also the queen of something else, and they may be different people, they may be the same person, so I'm just taking that they are all the same person, and that allows me to then sort of create a little bit more drama. Not that I need to, because the entire family tree, basically, of Greek mythology does that in and of itself. Perseus is Hercules' grandfather, or great-grandfather, something like that. And then Hercules is, he does the 12 labors because he accidentally kills his, brother or something, and then has to, serve his cousin, who's the king of some other kingdom in Greece. And then after that, during that, he gets, dishonored by the city of Troy. So after he finishes the 12 labors, he goes and, lays siege to Troy. That's not the Trojan War. The Trojan War happens later, so there's 2 different sieges on Troy. And then after that, he goes and joins the Argonauts. And then after the Argonauts, he goes and chills out. Some of the Argonauts that are left go and join the Caledonian Boar Hunt. Then we have the Trojan War itself. Then Odysseus, who goes to the Trojan War, has his adventures, and it just all interconnects. And there's one story where we meet a character who sets up the kingdom of Crete, which later on is where the Minotaur is, and then that's obviously introducing Theseus, and it's all interconnected to basically the family tree of Perseus and Hercules, and the 5 generations of this other family, who Helen of Troy is actually a part of that family tree. And between those 2 family trees, you basically have every Greek myth pretty much imaginable. And then I'm just adding in the ones that aren't connected, like Pygmalion or Narcissus and Echo, and those sorts of ones. Just in the filler bits where not much happens between this myth and that myth. We sort of slide this one in here, and yeah, so that's kind of cool. I'm also sort of going through this book, which I got a little while ago. It gives me a basic breakdown of mythology, as you saw on the, so there's like the creation of the, like all the creation myths, creation of humans, heroes, monsters, all that sort of thing, the afterlife, and I'm making my own like politics / religion thing based around it. That's going to be like the centerpiece of the culture in another thing that I'm working on, which I'm hoping is going to be really cool. It's a fantasy thing, but I am focusing a lot more on like the supernatural, like, proper fantasy elements, rather than some other fantasies like Game of Thrones, which focuses more on the humans. Yes, sure, there's dragons in that, and like Lord of the Rings has orcs, but for the most part they're just used as, like, the orcs are just used as like the bad guy army, and the dragons are, there's only 3 of them, and most of the action is around the people, not so much the dragons. Whereas my fantasy is going to be focusing a lot more on like the monsters and stuff, which should be pretty cool. And then I'm also working on, a friend set me a challenge. They didn't believe that the first chapter of this book had enough content in it to warrant a 45-minute pilot episode for like a TV show, because I've always thought that 1 chapter equals 1 episode. This book alone gets you 17 episodes, and that's a season. So I'm about halfway through that. I've rewritten everything, well, pretty much word for word, out of the book, and I'm at the point now where I just have to like embellish certain details with like dialogue and stuff. So like it sort of, in the chapter, very vaguely explains what Mr. Dursley does throughout the day. Like, it literally jumps over it in like 1 line. It says that he like shouted at some people, took some phone calls, and shouted at people again. And so I have to add in the bits where he's shouting at people, as well as reasons why he's shouting at them. Not that Vernon Dursley needs a reason to shout at someone. And then I've also got to, so I'm trying to keep it as faithful to the book as possible, because obviously I'm a fan myself, and I want to see it done properly. But at the same time, I really think a Harry Potter series would be kind of cool to see. And yeah, so I've got quite a bit going on. I'm also trying to finish the current Tumblr story I'm on, so that I can finally go back and find out what my next story is, because that may reignite some spark in my writing. I want to get back in. I used to do 1 Tumblr story a month, so I was uploading a new part every 3 days. So I'm kind of hoping that if I can do that again, that'll be on the days in between video uploads. So like a Tuesday, a Thursday, and then 1 day on the weekend. Which should then allow me to basically fill my week with a video and a story, video, story, alternating, so that you guys can have some more content. Hoping that will get me in the mood for creating a lot more stuff, because my Tumblr is only for my short stories and stuff, and I'm nowhere near finished with the ideas that I have. But at the same time, some of the stories that are on there are getting to the point where they're interconnecting so much that I need to write certain plot points down and actually like write a full novel. So yeah, it's getting to that point, so I'm hoping to get myself into the creative headset again to do that, which should be good. And then in the beginning of February, end of January, I'm going to be messaging the organising committee for next year's Northwest Film Festival, because I'm now on that, which is cool, and going to start talking to them and like organising and trying to get all of that sorted, which should be pretty cool. So yeah, I think that's about it. I do have plans to go and see a couple of movies over the weekend, so I may have some reviews for like Bumblebee or Aquaman. I don't think Into the Spider-Verse is showing in my cinema anymore. I think it was, and I missed out on seeing it, which thoroughly disappoints me, but that's just the hand I was dealt with 7 overnights in a fucking row. So yeah, other than that, yeah, I'm pretty much done. I've got 2 more people to get presents off, and then I'll do like a final Christmas present haul thing, which should come probably next week. So yeah, that'll probably come next week at some point. But yeah, until tomorrow, guys. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you liked that, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and share it with your friends as well. And if you want to see more content in between uploads, you can follow my Instagram at Ace of the Arts or my Tumblr at Stories Around a Campfire. And I will see you in the next video.